Hello. Seeing as I'm finished with the grind on both the Amagi and the NC, I might do the same thing I did for my Colorado and Nagato, make my personal opinion or comparison in this case. People enjoyed it when I made it. Some got really upset that I showed my stats. I don't know why, but it's usually only for my own sake and for my own comparison, and usually when I give my opinion it kind of helps back up why I gave my opinion. In this case though, you can see the clear difference. 21 games played on both. The win rate, of course, with this few games doesn't really matter. The win rate can fluctuate greatly with this small sample size. But I do feel the average damage speaks for itself quite clearly here. Whereas I struggled to even reach 100,000 average damage on the Amagi. Whereas with the North Carolina, I'm pushing, well, I got almost 120,000 damage. Which is, of course, a pretty significant change in this. So in this case, I will have to say that I consider the North Carolina, especially in random battles, significantly stronger than the Amagi right now. There is really no way I can interpret my own experiences and these stats in any other way. Anyway, let's move on to the commentary itself. Right, the commentary itself, the ship itself. Considering I just made an Iowa commentary where I said that I personally don't think the Iowa really feels as potent in my eyes as the North Carolina feels. I figured I'd show an example of what the NC has felt to me now that when I've gotten used to the ship. I mean, I'm much more confident pushing more aggressively in this ship than I am in the Iowa, mostly because the handling, and when you're facing enemy T8 battleships, you're so confident in being able to bounce it. I chose this game in particular because not only am I being very, very aggressive in my playstyle, I'm also facing almost exclusively enemy T8 ships. So, well, here of course you see something I have spoken of many, many times when it comes to the NC. Angled, you're tanky. Showing broadside, you are squishy. A Fubuki is smoking up right in front of me. No Citadel, but still another 11k damage on him. Fubuki smoking up on me. I'm not really too worried because once again, I feel confident in this ship. Honestly, I feel a lot safer in this ship than I do in the Iowa. In the Iowa, I'm kind of constantly worried that I'm in any way out of position because it's so hard to correct your positioning in that ship because of the size and the turning circle and a lot of factors that affect it. Whereas in this ship, I feel a lot more confident. My idea there was to bait him a bit. I turn out and bait him into turning so he shoots at me, or I bait him with my broadside so that he turns into my shells, but I overturned and honestly I was giving way too much broadside there, so my small mind game almost backfired heavily on me. Let's see if I can punish him now though. Nice, getting another Citadel on him. I'm not too afraid of pushing this. Wow, I didn't even get the kill. I'm not too afraid of pushing this Fubuki here. The Mutsuki is with me here, of course, but once again, I spawned down south of B, and my first reaction in this ship, well, I'm gonna push right into B with it. Because, as I said, I feel confident. I feel like, when I'm in the North Carolina, I feel like I am without a doubt one of the top dogs of T8. Like, without a doubt, without any argument, I am one of the top dogs at T8. And that was one of my issues with the Iowa, is that I was always kind of afraid of a lot of things. I was always kind of worried, and I didn't have that same goddamn come at me, like I don't care what ship you bring, I can take you all on. I didn't really have that feeling, which I have in this one. Hell, even T8 carriers, I laugh at them in the North Carolina, like Shokakus, Lexingtons. If they really come and attack me, I mean, they're gonna lose so many planes taking me on. Oops, sorry Mutsuki, but you are literally reversing in my way. Have a nice little speed boost. Right, that's a Fubuki dead. And, well, I don't see any reason to stop here. I'm gonna keep pushing right all the way up to C. Looks like there's a nice bunch of pretty much the entire enemy fleet up there. Whatever, that means a lot more damage for me. When I'm anchored in this ship, there's no real T8 ship that scares me. I mean, the Kutuzov, if it gets to work on me, of course it can really start like burning me down and such. But, well, the Sigma difference in accuracy, the ship feels better in every way. I mean, of course, any review that I make of both the NC and the Iowa is going to be biased. I mean, you shouldn't take it anything I say as the absolute truth, because it will always be affected by my personal opinion, my personal feel, and my personal experiences. And there's no such thing as having a right opinion or having a wrong opinion. It's ultimately just my opinion. And in my opinion and experience, I just feel a lot more confident in the ship. I feel like I can take on anything. I feel like when something shows me broadside, I feel like it's guaranteed I'm gonna do massive damage to them in this ship. The arcs are very slow. The shells are stupidly slow, but the accuracy and dispersion and everything it just clicks. I like it. You have to aim more ahead, but when you do aim ahead and something gives you broadside, it feels like you can just punish them heavily. I don't know if I think I was fast enough to click him off. Oh, he turned away. Damn, if he had continued straight, that would have been probably a pretty nice deletion, but he turned away in time. Of course, this is one of the downsides. Once again, the ship has clear downside. The low shell speed means that if a cruiser is paying attention, he can pretty easily dodge away from the shells. But then, of course, if you predict his turn, and then you shoot where he's turning, and you mind game him, then in turn, you can punish him. Once again, very straightforward mechanics, and I enjoy it. Still continuing the push, and well, my team, that's also kind of one of the things when you tend to push in like this. Well, it doesn't always happen. I'll give it that. It doesn't always happen, but most of the time when you push in aggressively, your team tends to man up a bit more, and they go like, hey, there's this NC in the front, maybe we can also push up just a bit. I mean, you can see they're still a bit hesitant. They're sitting south of me, south around B, but this other battleship is going full steam ahead, and I like it. I mean, if a battleship is about to go past me, that means I'm not playing aggressive enough, and that means full speed ahead. We need to play more aggressive, clearly. Prince Eugen though, showing broadside. They did get a fire on me. A lot of ships very close now, so no real need to push any further than this. I mean, I'm within 9 kilometers of multiple targets, and that's where I kind of want to be in North Carolina. I'm angled towards it. The one thing I like about this positioning the most is that I'm mostly angled against all my threats. Yes, they have some threats in our base, but they're potatoes who are chasing some Colorado who's sailing away from them, so I don't care about them. They're probably not even going to shoot at me. I'll just enjoy my time here and keep angling against this. Hell, I'm even showing them more broadside so I can bring more guns to bear. That's how little fear I have right now of this opponent team. Dummy, are you gonna give me broadside? Takao. Oh, so many juicy targets. I don't know which one to pick. Pick and choose, it's hard. There's targets everywhere. There we go. That's a nice distance, 8 km away. Oh, gotta make sure it's on ground, getting too greedy here. Ah, only 2 over... Wait, how does 2 overpens... Those... Seriously, I should honestly disable those damage ribbon things, because most of the time they just confuse me. You get 0 damage penetrations, and you get overpens that deal 5k damage, and all this stuff is just like, what? What are you on about? I mean, if you look at the score, we're actually very even in ships. It's, what, 8 versus 8? We have a small point lead, about 130 points, because we hold B. But I'm already confident we're going to win this, and as long as I'm helping this ship, I feel like I have easily the potential to turn around almost any game in it. And I like that. I enjoy that potential. Of course, being the over-aggressive player I am, like it's both a strength and, of course, a weakness. There are definitely times when I've overextended and gotten punished for it. And in this ship, when it's quite fast and agile, I tend to put myself too aggressively into positions I can't really get out of. I mean, one would consider this a lot of battleships would fear this moment. You're surrounded by cruisers and everything. But honestly, I enjoy it. I love having to target pick and having to angle and fight. And you know, there might be torps coming from any direction. And it's just this hectic, fun fight. That's why I like battleships with agility. It's probably why I rated the Scharnhorst so highly when it came out, because it's so agile, such quick turret traverse, all these things. That's probably why I greatly enjoy this ship, and why the Iowa feels so underwhelming in comparison, because it loses so much of that mobility, of that freedom, basically. That's honestly the word I'm probably looking for. You lose so much of your freedom. Which is weirdly un-American, saying that getting the Iowa makes you lose freedom, but I feel like I don't have the same freedom of mobility. Yes, I know I'm stopping full broadside to him, but that's because I knew there were torps coming, so I just had to slow down. And also I was afraid of speeding full speed past him since I got all that stuff ahead of me. Nice, managed to finish him off. Back to full speed now, and I'm gonna keep pushing into them. I'm already up at 162,000 damage, and honestly it doesn't feel like it was that long ago that I pushed into B, and it's just been this constant like slaughter of eating ships alive. And I feel like the average damage I showed in the start, I feel like they kind of reflect that as well. I mean, getting 120k at T9 is pretty different from getting 120k at T8 because everything has more HP then, so it doesn't have the same impact. Kutuzov turning away from me, but well, these shells, I have 2 fires, kinda tempted to repair. Yeah, might as well repair. I got so much HE spam coming my way, both from Mogami and the Kutuzov and now the Pensacola, and I think even the Prince Eugen in the back is spamming HE at me. Well, since I've already used my repair, well, this might be a time to run away, but personally I think this is time to go full ham and charge into them since I don't have a repair anymore anyway, so getting closer at this point can only benefit me since it means more reliable damage and more reliable citadels. Right, let's get started by getting rid, I think, of the Kutuzov. Getting close to the Kutuzov would be nice, because he's probably the best fire starter out of all of them. I mean, it's kind of tight between it and Mogami, but we need to get rid of him regardless. That should be him done. Wow, only 1 citadel and 2 Urpens, feels bad. Got some Torps coming from the front. Is that Kutuzov dead now? Nice, he's dead. Oh, and the game already ended. Oh, I didn't have any time to go as YOLO as I wanted. But this kind of thing, I would never do. I could never get away with it, I feel, in Iowa. 208,000 damage at the end. And that's kind of what I'm missing. I really, really like this ship, but I really don't like the Iowa. I'm biased, yes, I admit it. It's my opinion, but that's just the way it is. Take it or leave it. That's all I can offer you guys.